got a couple budget questions for you.
Sure.
The big thing people are talking about is the potential tax break that could be part of the budget. Do you think that's a critical component of this budget? Do you think Michigan families need that?
Well, I think it's a good thing when you have an opportunity to say, we're doing a budget process now that's strong enough and structurally sound enough that there's an opportunity to say we can give some resources back to our hardworking taxpayers. And that's the way I viewed it is it wasn't the starting point of the budget process. It was really going through after revenue estimating to say, okay, have we got very sound budgeting practices in place? Do we have a balanced budget? Are we putting dollars in the rainy day fund? Are we working on pre-funding liabilities? And I went through the list. You can check all those boxes to say that's being done, and then there are still some incremental resources available. Then it was an appropriate thing to say, okay, for those incremental resources, what would be a use in government, but also how we might be able to return those to our hardworking taxpayers.
Sure. K-12 education and post-secondary education. But going back to this tax break, I mean, do you think, you cut, the budget last year cut a lot of money from both those things, and you're starting to put some back in it. Was there any consideration that that money then is going to go to tax breaks would have been used to spend more on education?
Well, I think we made some pretty good investments this year in K-12 and higher ed. So again, when we did the review, here's a starting point for that. Then revenue estimating came and there's some additional resources. There's always this question of balancing act. So you always want to look at those kind of options. But I think we are on a path we're starting to invest more in education, which is really important. What I would say, it's not just about spending money though, more money in education. It's about making sure we're measuring, putting in metrics, working harder on getting a better return to our citizens in education. Because our statistics are not good. When you're only 17% college ready, that's not satisfactory. And so the question is, and it's just not going to be solved by spending more money, it's how do we deploy those resources to empower teachers. We've got great teachers. How do we give them more tools to be successful?